Hello, hello. Welcome to the Voice of the Prophet with me, Prophetess Lorraine. Today I want to bring us a word of encouragement. Fight the good warfare over your prophecy, according to 1 Timothy 1, verse 18. Fight the good warfare over your prophecy. Please do not give up. Do not give up on the word of God over your life. Do not give up. Remember what the word of God says. Remember that the word of God says in Isaiah 55, it says that, for as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven, and return not thither, but watereth the earth and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give what? Seed to the sower and bread to the eater. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return to me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I send it. Remember the word of the Lord. Sometimes it is that you have to go before God and you have to bring him in remembrance of his word. You have to fight the good warfare over your prophecy through prayer, through praise, through giving thanks. And sometimes you have to put a seed on it. And you have to sow your seed and you have to say, Lord, I have sown my seed through my faith. And if you have sown your seed over it, then you need to say, Lord, remember the seeds that I have sown. You're not trying to buy a manifestation. You can't buy God. But what you're doing is obeying biblical principles. What you're doing is obeying the word of the Lord. Seed, time, and harvest. For as long as the earth remains, there will be what? Winter, summer. There will be hot, cold. There will be morning, night. And there will be what? Seed, time, and harvest. So what you're doing now is you're engaging God and you're saying, Lord, according to your word, I've sown a seed. I am waiting, or I have been waiting. So I'm in time. So now, Father, I thank you for the harvest. And then you bring the word before me and you say, Lord, remember you said that I must bring in remembrance of your word. Remember, this is what your word said. And if you can remember the date when he said it, you said, Lord, remember, this is what your word says on X and X date. And you say, I must bring in remembrance of it. And remember, you said that your word cannot return to your void. So, Father, I thank you for the manifestation of my word. But please do not give up. Do not allow the enemy to steal the word of God from out of your heart. Guard it. Guard your heart. Don't allow the enemy to come kill that word, to put an end or to cause the failure or defeat of it. Do not allow the enemy to cause our emotions to get all up into the mix of things. Where we're going through something and then our emotions start to take the best of us. And we start to speak contrary to what God said. Or we start to look into our lives and we said, oh, but this word came 5 years, 10 years ago. I don't see it manifest yet, right? So maybe God never really sure what him tell me. Really, God is God and he means what he says. But if we do some introspection, were we really following 1 Timothy 1 verse 18? Were we really fighting the good warfare over our prophecy? Or we just get it, we smile, just as Jesus said in Matthew 13. The word come, we receive it with all joy and everything, and then we just put it down there. And then the word start to slowly die. We have to take God for his word. And Paul knew what he was saying. When he said that to Timothy, he says, look, the words I've spoken over your life that have gone on before you, remember you have to fight for them. You have to fight a good warfare over them. Don't allow the enemy to come and destroy your word. Don't let him let it be extinct. Don't let him put a end to it. That you live your life and you never see manifestation of that word that you have so hoped in God for and waited for. But in Hebrews 10 it says, look here in verse 35, cast not away your confidence, but you have need for patience. You have need for patience. You have need to wait. And while you're waiting, you're praying. And while you're praying, you're praising. And while you're praising, you're giving God thanks. So that after you have done the will of God, that you might receive his promise. But first you have to do the will of God. And then you have to now judge the prophetic word. You have to judge it against the word of the Lord. And once you have done that now, you need to now go through it with a fine-teeth comb now and say, what were the instructions given to me? Because what I realize with a lot of people is that when the prophetic word, including me too, sometimes it sounds so nice and we feel so good. But then there are conditions sometimes in that prophetic word that we miss the conditions altogether. We forget about it. And knowing that if conditions are placed there, then God is saying that, look here, you have to do this and then I will do this. But he is the master of time. And he decides when it shall be manifested. Not you, not I, not our situation, not our circumstance, but him. But he is a merciful God. So once we are doing the things that we should do, then he will show us mercy. But do not allow the enemy to just come and frustrate you to a point where you forget in the God that you had hoped in. That you forget in the word that God gave you for comfort that you had hope in. That you had put so much trust in God. That word came and comfort you and you praise God and you worship and you jump up and down and you jump and you dance. Don't forget that. But hold fast to the promises of God and know that he is a just God. He is a faithful God and a loving God. And he will do that which he has promised to do. So I encourage you, please fight the good warfare over your prophetic word. Fight the good warfare. Do not give up hope in God. Trust in God. Cast down any imagination that exalted itself against the knowledge of God. Cast down any high thing, any high-mindedness. Do not put your trust in the riches of the world. Do not put your trust in the things of the world or the things of you trying to do it by yourself or you trying to help God to make what God said come true. Cast it down. Bring it into the knowledge of God. The knowledge of what the word of God says. Put it there. Don't allow evil and vain imaginations to start run through your mind. The enemy start to put all type of imaginations in your mind. Oh, it will never come to pass. You know, say, oh, you're old, you'll never get married. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. Oh, you're sowing your tithes and offering and you're not seeing no manifestation. The word of the Lord say you must do it, so you do it. And when God see your faithfulness in his timing, he will open the window of heaven for you. Because you're being obedient to his word. And you are operating and activating and living in kingdom principles. Oh, you're not educated enough. Really? I'm not against education. But what I'm saying is that God can allow you to get to a place in your life where you may not have had any tertiary training for it. But God would have blessed you with wisdom and knowledge. And then when you have an opportunity to, you can now use the natural with the supernatural. But please do not cast away your confidence in God. Do not cast it away. Do not fling it away. Do not throw it away. But continue to trust in God. And continue to fight the good warfare over those prophetic words until you see manifestation. And do not give up. Bless you.